Ladies and gentlemen, through time and space, disagreements have been known to disunite man.
But here on the Great Debaters Contest, we bring together over 500 schools to debate on Kenya's #1 debate platform. This is the Great Debaters Contest Season 8, Eldoret Region.
I am your host, Esperanza Kapanga.
And I am Chris Boru.
The question we seek to answer today is individual apathy the greatest threat to our climate?
In the opposition, making their premier appearance on the Great Debaters Contest, we have Nasakol Girls School.
And in the proposition, we have the ladies from St. Joseph Girls High School. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Given that our motion today states that individual apathy is the greatest threat to climate, I'll first start by briefly explaining to us and breaking down the points so as to instill to understanding what's the meaning of our motion. Individual apathy. What is individual apathy? Individual apathy is an individual's ignorance or lack of interest, lack of enthusiasm in something. Climate. What is climate? Climate is a weather pattern of a particular place over a long period of time. With this, I'm here to strongly propose the motion that states individual apathy is the greatest threat to climate. And why do I say so? For instance, I'll start with global warming, which has been contributed by some of the human factors. This is various emissions. An example, emissions from greenhouse effects. The greenhouse is a human activity practiced by individuals, that is, the farmers in our country. This is the greenhouse effects emit emissions such as nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, and methane. These are gases which are highly poisonous to the climate. They affect the atmosphere. They thin the blanket layer that is protecting the ultraviolet rays from the sun to get to us as individuals and also to penetrate through the earth. This is something we're ignoring, and yet it's in our understanding. We're aware of this, but we're ignoring it. The second point is on NASA. This is not a political party. I'm not talking of the political party in our country, but I'm talking of the National Aeronautical Space Administration. It has observed warming of oceans that are causing a great threat to our marine creatures. And how is this coming about? This through the ultraviolet rays from the sun. Because our layer has been thinning, they're penetrating through the layer and getting into the water bodies, thereby affecting the marine creatures. This is something we as humans are ignoring. The third point goes on farmers. As an individual, supposing I'm a farmer, we use agricultural fertilizers on our farms. These agricultural fertilizers contain chemicals, various types of chemicals that are effective. They have adverse effects. And this is something that we all know. It's not like we're not aware of this, because as a farmer, as an individual, being a farmer, once I go to the aggregate to purchase my fertilizer, it has been clearly indicated the adverse effects that they're going to cause, both to me as a human and to the climate. But it's something I'm ignoring. I therefore go ahead and use the fertilizers. An example is the nitrogenous fertilizers. These are according to the research on Google. The nitrogenous fertilizers are highly volatile, and they're also hydroscopic. That is, they absorb moisture from the atmosphere. This is something we're ignoring. I therefore conclude by saying that the greatest threat to climate is the belief that someone else will come and do it for us. Therefore, have the right kind of thoughts, and this will lead you to the right destination. Thank you.
First proposer, you have 3 minutes to make your case.
Cynthia Lodite from Nasakol Girls, strongly opposing the motion. Individual apathy is the greatest threat to our climate. First of all, let's break down the motion by what's apathy. Apathy is that lack of interest or indifference. Then let's go towards climate. Climate, it's the average weather condition of a given place that has been recorded over a long period of time. That's a period of between 30 to 35 years. Then what's a threat? A threat, it's possibly a trouble. That's what we can talk of threat. Then this apathy. Apathy, it has been a debate. It has been a threat of climate that has been controversial all over the world for a long period of time. And the great thing that we want to discuss today, the great question that we want to discuss today, it's why. Why are we taking this individualism? We want to work as a team so that we can get away with these sorts of working as an individual. I don't know, oh, we want to take part in individualism. We want only to talk to people one by one. Rather, it's better if we work as a team. Originally, I didn't want to start this talk about apathy to the environment, since it's a bit of a downer. From personal experience, and I know that you have also experienced these sorts of things. For instance, we can't just come up with something and say, Cynthia, you're going to take care of Mau Forest. Then there is this distraction. Obviously, one person is not going to take care of that big forest alone. Then there is this mere distraction, these disastrous acts that these human beings, we tend to destroy this forest, or in search of, let's say, charcoal. Immediately, there is distraction, there are always consequences. Only one person cannot tend to take care of this environment. That's why we want to emphasize on teamwork. There is a time that I would love to see images, and not just images of the environment, images and acknowledgements about the environment, about how beautiful this environment is, and all that. It's gonna come when you work as a team, not as an individual. I love what Leo Barassi once said in his latest extract novel. He talked of working as a team is the best and not just the best. So let's come up together, join us, and work as a team and not just individually. Working individually, there is nothing that comes out best rather than working as a team, which brings best and more of a best, which we call it better. From Nasakol Girls, I rest my case.
Second proposer, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
It's true that change deniers should have no place in this world. And it's also true that the truth hurts, but I'd rather you tell me the truth than comfort me with a lie. Everyone knows that a team starts with an individual. It's an individual who stands up and says, let's become a team and work. Me as an individual, if I am interested, if I don't want this climate to deteriorate, I stand up and call other individuals to come and we form a team. Ivy Fatima from St. Joseph's here to strongly propose the motion that states that individual apathy is the greatest threat to climate change. Our climate is changing daily. There are threats. This emission from cars, everyone nowadays wants to own a car because of high social status. The person does not think about the consequences of these cars. There are traffic jams in these cars. There are emissions. These cars emit gases like carbon dioxide. These gases go on depleting the ozone layer, which allows the ultraviolet rays into our Earth. The Earth was given to us by the Almighty God, and God told us to take care of it and to make it productive. How then, as an individual, if you don't care about this climate, if you're not concerned, how will you take care of this earth we call home? I'm also here to tell you that in the 1970s, it's noted in Google that since the Industrial Revolution of the world, the climate changes has increased to 50 times than it was before the Industrial Revolution. These people who start these industries are individuals. I, as an individual, think about benefiting from these industries. I'm not thinking about I'm not thinking about the disadvantages of the industries. I'm only thinking about the benefiting side. I'm only thinking about getting money. I'm only thinking about getting the products. I'm only thinking about what the industry will benefit me. But as an individual, if I decide, yes, I'll start this industry, but I'll treat the emissions, I'll treat them before releasing them into the atmosphere, we would have cared, we would have showed interest, I as an individual, owning that company. I would also like to conclude by urging you to join me and not neglect the fact that our climate is under threat. Yes, our climate is under threat. Please join me in fighting self-apathy, individual apathy, which is the greatest cause of climate change. Ivy Fatima from the St. Joseph's Girls.
Second opposer, you have 3 minutes for re-examination.
To the proposers, you claim that greenhouse effects is a threat to our environment, right? How can we do things as individuals? We all know that unity is power, right? I'm Otagi Shannon from Nasakol Girls. I want to oppose the motion. Individual apathy is the greatest threat to our environment. My first point, scientific invention. Nuclear bombs, which were invented and destructed things in Iraq and Syria, they were invented not because they wanted to, because of apathy. They were invented because the people wanted employment opportunities. People wanted a chance to go out there and earn a living for themselves. It's not because of apathy. Existence of industries. We all know that industries are the ones which have made our country go up. No one wants her country or his country to be lagged behind. Everyone wants her country to be prosperous. That's why industrialization has helped us there. Greenhouse effect in Naivasha. The greenhouse effects are there, but it's not because of apathy. But it's because of the interest of wanting wanting products which are good and which will help the country. The products which are mainly in greenhouses are for export. And thus it helps the country to have foreign exchange with other countries. To my next point, farming activities along riverbanks. It reduces water level, hence desertification, in reference to Turkana County. Yes, we all know that desertification is caused by no water. But this is not because farming activities is done so that we can get food for ourselves, so that we can take care of ourselves. How do you expect someone from West Pokot County to survive? He or she has to do something so that to earn a living. To my third point, dispersal of industrial waste to the rivers. In reference to Lake Victoria, in the year 2016, in reference to the WWW, there was an attack of cholera in Nyanza County. This attack really killed so many people, and the attack really affected people. And this is not because of apathy. It's because people want to get something to help themselves with. I want to urge my fellow colleagues to come together with us and support oppose this motion, because we all know unity is power. Thank you.
The proposers have been asked if individual apathy is the greatest threat to our climate, then what is the solution for this problem? The opposers have been asked, if not individual apathy, then what is the greatest threat to our climate? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
Maimuna Abdulaziz, St. Joseph Girls High School, Kitale. Okay, the question is, how are we going to solve the problem of individual apathy? It's quite simple, you see. You need, first of all, to comprehend to the fact that the world does not owe you an earth, but you as an individual owe the world a sustainable earth. I think it's high time you step up and fight and take responsibility. This is where you live. It's your own. Things you do, it's going to destroy you, not anyone else. It will destroy you as a whole, but you'll feel the impact you yourself. It's clear right now that climate has pushed the earth into an uncharted territory. This came as a warning from the World Meteorological Organization early this year on March 15th. rising in sea levels, melting of the Arctics are just but examples of the signs of the diverse effects of this deteriorating climate. We need to stand up. And you know the worst part of this all is that we as individuals are acting as catalysts. We are increasing this effect. Maybe it's caused by natural things, but don't you know, right now, if you compare Earth right now, after industrialization, you find that in the 1920s up to now, we've measured 0.99 degrees Celsius, an increase in temperature. The Earth is getting warmer. It might not affect us directly, but believe you me, it will affect our future generation. We need to step up. I'm urging you. It's your Earth, it's your generation. You are going to be a parent. You're going to want the best for your kid. You need to fight for that best thing for your kid. You not caring, you're not looking the other way is affecting you and you alone. I insist, it will affect you and you alone. You need to take this by yourself. And those people who are right there, you know the effects. Okay, first of all, the first opposer, Cynthia, talked about beautifying the environment. Talked about beautifying the environment as a team. You need to start doing it yourself. If you want the world to be beautiful, do it yourself. Then encourage others to do it. You not talking about it, not coming up to talk about it, is what is affecting you. You need to start by yourself. That's what you are calling individual apathy. You not being interested. You're just leaving it at like that. It's not possible to say that's something you want and you're not doing anything to get it. In conclusion, I'd like to urge you to be a pioneer, to stand out. Don't be afraid to take a few shots of arrows. You might get hurt, but in the end, what matters is the best you can bring out. Thank you.
Third opposer, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Bernadette Tigendia from Nasakol Girls High School. Thank you for the question that you just posted to our side. Okay, let's look at it this way. You are asking that if not individual apathy, which is the greatest threat to our climate? Look, people are doing destructive activities like cutting down of trees because maybe it's the only way they can earn a living. Statistics from Daily Nation show that 70 to 80% of people are living below the poverty line. Think of a parent who has 3 children or 5 and is jobless and has no other way of earning a living. Beside their homestead, there is a forest. And in that forest, they can make charcoal by cutting down and burning the trees. On looking at that side, we will realize that this parent might have concern for the environment, but this is the only solution. This is the only way that this parent can support his or her family. So what I'm trying to put across is that poverty is playing a major role in affecting or bringing a threat to our climate. Okay, we can also talk of natural disasters. We cannot blame an individual for natural disasters. For example, floods. These are not caused by an individual. It's affecting our climate majorly because when floods happen, homes are destroyed and people are left wandering and have no place to go. Okay, I would like to challenge my opponents. Talking of environmental pollution, frankly speaking, in the world we are living now, we have social class. There is this individual out there who has concern for the environment. Let us not forget that industries are run by big cartels. You cannot come out as an individual and try to say that, oh, the industry is polluting our environment, or that is not right. Look at this. You are going to attack them. These people have money, yet you are a common mwananchi. You are out there, and there is no way you can support your claims. What if you try and attack them? Definitely, they will do something to bring you down. So you cannot you cannot blame an individual or say that they are a threat to our climate. Bernadette Igendia, representing Poland Queens. Thank you.
Proposition, you have 1 minute for your final submission.
First of all, to the third opposer, you need to understand that these industries consist of individuals. These individuals went to school as individuals. They learn the effects of what they're manufacturing as individuals. And they've gone to look there for work as individuals. It starts as an individual, then it becomes a whole. This individual is neglecting the fact that these things that they're manufacturing could have diverse effects to the climate. Then they're doing it as a whole. That's what I'm saying. You need to start as an individual before you go to a whole, because everything starts as an individual. And I stand here today saying that it's a great form of apathy. And it's very frustrating that someone can have the courage to come and stand here and confidently say that just because we need this social status, we need social status. No, we don't need this. We don't need to prove ourselves to anyone. We need to care for our environment, for our climate. We need to do the correct things to benefit us all. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 1 minute for a final statement.
Cynthia Lodite from Nasakol Girls. I stand here to conclude for what we have been discussing, parting the opposition side. From one of our opposers, from what you've just said right now, here we are talking of self-interest. You cannot expect someone to go out there maybe some people are after money. Not everybody will be after taking care of the environment. I want to tell you people, I want to invite you to come and ride with us. Come and ride with us in this road where we are taking to the world of working as a team and not working as an individual. Welcome once again. We rest our case.
So I will start with the proposition. I liked your argument, especially Ivy. Everything that you talked about, the environment, and you exactly related it to how it affects the climate. That's a very good link. That's how you argue. You talk about the effect of something and you gave a very good illustration, good introduction, talking about how individually all of us want to own cars. We don't think about how it will affect the environment. That was a very good one. That leaves a question to all of us, the audience, and even us as individuals. Let's think about this thing. Do you have to get something for just to feel good about it, or you have to think about the effect of this on the environment? Also, one good illustration that the research has shown that 50 years ago, the climate was 2 times lower. The temperature was 2 times lower than what we experience today. Let's go to Wachie, also a good introduction. You also talked about what individual apathy is. There was I couldn't find the link between climate change and fertilizers though. CFCs, I can get that, but with fertilizers, not really. And I like how you related that to destruction of the ozone layer. Let's go to Maimuna. Maimuna, that was also good. You appealed to our emotions as you debated. All of you are good debaters. Let's go to the opposition side. Cynthia, you are a good debater, good introduction. You talked of teamwork rather than being an individual. We go to Shannon. There was this talk about water and climate change, about farming on the riverbanks. I didn't really understand that. It will lead to maybe siltation and all that, but not climate change. And also there was a mix-up between pollution and climate change. I know sometimes it can happen, but you have to really stick to this. Keep referring to the motion. Keep referring to the motion and you'll never lose track. To Bernadette, one question. You are good debaters, all of you should know that. But one question I will ask. Does poverty really warrant you to go and cut every other tree that is there just because we are poor? Not really. We know there are alternative sources of fuel. You can try, even if it's an arid area, you can try farming, crops which can withstand such conditions, and also herding. There are cows and goats which can stand in such environments. So as we argue, let's always think about what can we do to save this world. Yes, thank you so much.
So after all is said and done, it's down to the numbers. St. Joseph Girls High School, After such a spirited fight you put, the judges awarded you 66%. Let's give them a round of applause. Nasakol Girls School. The judges saw it fit to award you 63.5%, making St. Joseph Girls High School the winners of this debate. Let's appreciate Nasakol Girls School with a better round of applause. Congratulations to both teams for giving us a good show. Remember, every setback is a setup for a different comeback. So every learning experience should propel you to come back next time to be winners of the Great Debaters Contest.
That's it for today's debate, but beyond that, we would like you to keep the conversation going across all our social media platforms. The hashtag is GDC for SDGs. We also encourage the schools to not only debate about the Sustainable Development Goals, but also take up our SDG challenge by implementing any one of the 17 in their school or the community around them.
We'd also like to appreciate all the principals and patrons of each and every participating school, because without you, we will not have this show. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Chris Burro.
And I am Esperancia Kapanga. Catch you in the next episode.